The Donner Party. In 1846, 87 pioneers known as the Donner Party set out from Illinois for California, chasing a new life in the West. They took a supposed shortcut called the Hastings Cutoff, a deadly mistake that led them through mountains, deserts, and starvation. By November, an early snowstorm trapped them high in the Sierra Nevada. Their food ran out. Weeks turned into months. Rescue was impossible. Desperate, they began eating the dead, and in one case, even murdered to survive. When help finally arrived 4 months later, only 48 were alive. Their dream of California became one of the darkest tragedies in American history. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. In February 1959, 9 skilled hikers from the Ural Polytechnical Institute set out on a winter expedition in the icy Ural Mountains. Led by Igor Dyatlov, they planned to earn their highest hiking certification. Everything went fine, until the night they pitched their tent on the slopes of Kolatsiakal, a mountain locals called Dead Mountain. Sometime after midnight, something went wrong. The group cut their tent open from the inside and fled barefoot into minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit snow. When rescuers arrived weeks later, they found the tent ripped apart, food untouched, and bodies scattered through the forest. 6 had died of hypothermia. 3 were crushed or had fractured skulls. 1 woman was missing her tongue, others had no eyes. The Soviet investigation ruled it a compelling natural force, then closed the case. This is the story of the Dyatlov Pass incident, 9 hikers who ran into the night and never came back. The 1888 Great Blizzard. In March 1888, the East Coast was hit by one of the deadliest snowstorms in U.S. history, the Great Blizzard of 1888, later called the Great White Hurricane. It started as rain, then temperatures plunged overnight. Within hours, hurricane-force winds and whiteout snow buried cities from New Jersey to Maine. Trains froze in place. More than 400 people died, including sailors from over 200 shipwrecks and a New York politician who froze trying to walk home. The chaos shut down Wall Street, paralyzed the railroads, and inspired the creation of America's first subway systems, built underground to survive future storms. The Great Blizzard of 1888, a storm so powerful it changed how cities were built forever. The Mount Everest Blizzard Disaster. In May 1996, 2 commercial teams, adventure consultants led by Rob Hall and Mountain Madness led by Scott Fisher, set out to guide climbers to the top of Mount Everest. It was meant to be the climb of a lifetime. Instead, it became one of the deadliest days in Everest history. On May 10th, dozens of climbers reached the summit, but a massive blizzard rolled in as they began their descent. Temperatures plunged, visibility vanished, and oxygen ran out. Communication failed. By morning, 8 climbers were dead, including both Hall and Fisher, stranded just a few hundred meters below safety. The disaster shocked the world and exposed the dark side of Everest's booming commercial climbing industry, where profit and ambition often outweighed caution. Survivors later wrote books retelling the nightmare, most famously John Krakauer's Into Thin Air. The 1996 Everest disaster, a brutal reminder that on the world's highest peak, nature doesn't care how much you've paid, trained, or dreamed. The starving time. In the winter of 1609, Jamestown, the first English colony in America, became a living nightmare. About 500 settlers were trapped behind their wooden walls, surrounded by hostile Powhatan warriors, cut off from food and fresh water. By spring, only 61 were left alive. When rescue ships finally arrived in May 1610, they found a silent town of ghosts and ruins. The survivors were ready to abandon it all until new supplies and a fresh governor ordered them back. Jamestown lived on, but the starving time left a stain on America's first colony that no amount of tobacco could ever erase. Like stories like this, hit subscribe and let me know what I should cover next in the comments.